welcome to a very special episode where we discuss kind of like what we want to see by the time it hits December. Because for this year, I only planned for 12 episodes. And what we just recorded was the 12th and 13th, technically, episode. But, when we started 2021, I really intended one episode a month. And here we are. Where do you see us in December? Do you see us in December? So many things.
I don't see me past tomorrow, but I don't know where I see us in December. I mean, like, obviously I'm hopeful that we'll pick up some kind of traction and have more than just our friends listening, even if it's just like 15 more people that we don't know. I put this episode on I put this podcast on all my dating app bios, and I've had people write to me like, wow, that sounds really interesting. What's it about? Where can I hear it? Are they actually hearing it or just trying to butter me up? I don't know. I don't respond to half of them, but
well, I can say a couple of them have, because I've seen some hits from parts of America that interesting,
Okay, so here's to you folks from my dating profiles listening. Shout outs to you, I guess. Thanks for listening. But yeah, when we record this, it feels weird to me because I'm like, we're just talking. It's just what we do every day. Like, we talk. Who's gonna sit there and just listen to us talk? But then I think about my sister who listens and watches like the podcasts of like celebrity gossip or just people talking about what's going on in the world. I listen more to like themed podcasts. Like, I listen more to like true crime podcasts and things like that. But you are also someone who listens to people that just talk, that just ramble. And like, there are people who like to listen to other people talk, which is wild to me. And we've had our own friends be like, oh, your episodes are short. And I'm like, you're actually listening to the whole thing? Like, you're enjoying it?
I'm over here, like, editing down a 30-minute episode to be around 15, 16 minutes because I feel like they're too long and no one wants to listen to them. But it's also, like, our friends, so I'm really grateful for them, but I know that some of them will just listen because they're our friends, And it's not to say that I'm not very grateful. Like, I really am. But when you're, as someone who's worked in advertising and I did strategy and like kind of like building a brand or an identity from nothing, I know it takes a lot of work, and I know that peer support can only go so far. Mm-hmm. And it's not to diminish that in any sense, but it's just like, I want to be challenged to figure out what are the next steps. How am I going to push this to more people? How am I going to connect with those people who like similar podcasts to me? Like, I listen to the Try Guys podcasts. I listen to the Tripod and You Can Sit With Us. And those are, two of my favorite podcasts. I also listen to This Might Get Weird with Grace Helbig and Mamrie Hart. And these are all just podcasts that are people, a group of friends or a duo having a conversation. And I like it because I'm getting these individualistic points of views, but it's also very white-centric. Like, I'm not going to be afraid to call that out, So seeing that and being like, okay, there is opportunity. I'm not seeing so much of myself in these people. Like, I agree with a lot of the topics that they talk about, but why am I only in this bubble of podcasts?
Yeah.
And how can I infiltrate this space, or not even infiltrate, just make a new space where we can exist alongside all these conversations,
But also, I feel like that was one of the hardest things when we first started, right? It was like, well, let's pick a name. And that was hard because we had to pick a name, but also a name that wasn't taken. But also it was like, all right, what is it going to be about? Like, people have their gimmicks, their things. Like, this is a podcast about movie reviews or about show reviews, or we talk about celebrity gossip or everything going on in like current events. But when we started, we were like, well, what is this podcast going to be? And when the idea of the podcast first came up to us, like, we had a thing. Like, we had a gimmick. At the time, it was 3 of us coming up with the idea. then turned into two of us, and we were like, well, is this really like a plausible thing for the two of us to do? Like, is this really something that we could do a podcast on. And it wasn't like a realistic thing for the both of us. And so we had to like move on from that and try to find a new topic, something that we could stretch out into the long term, but still be real to you and me and make it something that we wanted to talk about. And sometimes it's hard because it's a topic about being vaguely looking adults. Like, that's our thing. Like, just the things that we go through in life that people can relate to or may not be able to relate to, but they can see, like, wow, I see your perspective. And, like, I feel like just not like we've done good. We've done well in those things. And it's kind of hard sometimes to be like, well, what are we going to talk about next week? And by next week, I mean, you'll hit me up the day before we're supposed to record. Like, so what are we recording about tomorrow? And I'm just like,
Listen, my planning has a lot left to be desired. I understand that. For someone who's quote-unquote put together, I'm a mess. I get that. But, you know, so speaking on bringing these new perspectives, here's when you know I haven't thought things through, because I start to awe. I don't often awe or but, you know, when our friend reached out and was like, I never thought about these things this way before, or I've never seen things from this perspective. Thank you for talking about it. Like, I'm X years old and I've never really understood or seen such a point of view. And I'm grateful that, you know, I've become friends with us, and grateful that we're open to talk about things, because they are difficult to talk about, some of the topics that we've touched on. And I'm sure moving down the line, things we'll be talking about as well. Because there's also a multitude of things that we want to explore. Or personally, I want to explore. But I'm just not comfortable or there yet to fully dive into topics like that. Mm-hmm. So, I would say a goal for the upcoming months, or when we actually sit down and look at this in December, because we're going to do that and react to where we are now versus then. It's just to continue to be consistent. I know there's going to be hiccups, but I want to continue at least 2 episodes a month. You know, keep expectations low, but I want to end the year with saying this is what I decided to do in 2021, and we did it. You know? Yeah, 2020 left a lot to be desired as well. And
absolutely,
we tried.
And we had plans. We were going to record in different places. Well, for one, we were going to be in the same room when we were recording.
That's how we started.
And we planned on recording in different places. You bought your little portable, I don't know what it's called. And the first place we're going to record outside of was on the High Line. But it was hella windy that day, and then we didn't get a chance to. And then the world shut down. And here we are recording from our homes. Neither of us in our own rooms, by the way. I think that's hilarious. I want to see us... One, I want to see us back together. Like, I want to be in the same room as you. Two, I want some consistency. I know a lot of the times the reason we're not as consistent is because my life gets a little bit hectic with, like, work and stuff. And it's only about to get more hectic, so my apologies in advance. But, you know, like, it's also the fact that you're, like, pushing for it that, like, I really appreciate. It's the, I'm here for you if you need anything. But also, like, when are we recording this week? Or are you free this day? Or here's the thing we're going to talk about. Or here's the time we're going to record. Like, it's the kind of structure that I need. Like, you are much more put together than you think you are.
Yeah, I also, if I ever am too pushy, like, this is just extra bonus stuff for you guys to see how we communicate. But I don't even know if this is gonna go public ever, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be a special episode at, you know, who knows? Maybe it'll be a special 420 episode. Hey, what's up? We got 19 days until 420. Also, legalized weed.
Yeah. So, we're legalized now.
And I'm wearing a very appropriate shirt. Yo, let's go. 420 episode.
And we're more legal than California.
Oh, yeah, man. Where was my train of thought? Oh, I don't ever want to be too pushy. So, you know, if I'm structuring an episode or giving up a topic, it's very much a conversation. You know, it's like, oh, no, I'm not comfortable with that. Or maybe we can save that topic for another time. You know, it's when you're in any sort of partnership even if it's just a friendship, communication is always so important, you know? And even more so now because we're technically a business partnership. I never want to, you know, overstep boundaries or do any of that stuff because I know what it's like working with really difficult people. And I know what it's like working with bosses who don't consider your input or you know, just push for one certain thing where you feel like you're helpless in a situation. But I'm pretty much the one that runs this podcast. Like, I structure the episodes, I do the editing, exporting, I manage all the social media, distribution, etc. It's got to be one of us. And the reason I want things so structured is because I know your life is so hectic. And because I know that you're still capable of at least carving out 1 hour in a week where we could record. So I know I'm not asking too much because I'm doing as much as I can possibly do to make it easier on you.
If you're listening and not watching, I am pouting. Yes, I love this friendship. I love this partnership. I said it once and I'll say it again. Dude, you are like my most platonic soulmate ever. I see myself in your friendship in December. I honestly see us probably recording less often because of who we are as people, but still recording. And not to say that I want to put that into the universe,
we're gonna start banking episodes at a point. Like, that's something that I know will happen. But I just like the momentum of the weekly thing now because I'm still very much unemployed, and it's something that I can look forward to every Monday, Tuesday to edit. I see what you mean. But yeah, for the time being, it's nice to just also talk every week.
More
because we can't do that in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. More personally, I see us hanging out again. Jesus. Having more food outings is something we were talking about in our group chat, and I was looking through my old pictures and I'm like, wow, I take a lot of pictures of you guys when you're eating. But also, on like a personal note, I'm putting this into the universe. I see myself in a job where I'm a little bit happier, or at least like brings more meaning to where I want to be in the future. Where that is, I don't know, but it's not where I am now. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. And I mean, I'm used to feeling that way, but I don't want to anymore. Like, I want to fight out of it. And I've had dreams where I'm in different jobs and they're not any better, but it's made me realize that I think it's about time that I start to expand on what I'm doing. And I see you back in production in December.
I really hope so. I hope that, you know, we'll see when I get my car, so that'll give us more mobility as well. That should be happening in the next couple of months. We're going to just manifest all the things we want. My car's going to come in the next couple of months. Your birthday is going to be coming up. Then we worry about the second half of the year. Then we worry about where this is going. One big goal that I want is this to just at least break even. I want this to be something that works for us. Because I truly enjoy doing this. Like, for someone who has no self-confidence or very little, I enjoy talking. And I like that I know that people are listening. We love that God complex.
We're here for it.
Until we wrap around and December time comes. Happy April 1st. There were no jokes in this episode, but...
Hey. It's fine, we're the jokes.
Clown City, let's go. Yeah, I hope we are where we want to be in December. And I know that we'll get at least some of the things that we want. For sure. We got the rest of the year ahead of us. So daunting. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed listening to this ramble. Hope our wishes, our intentions, our manifestations come true. And we'll catch you guys in December. And every week, you know, coming forth.
Until then.
But, you know, this special 420 thing, whatever. I don't even know if it's going to go up on 420, but we'll figure it out. Stay safe. Get vaccinated if you can, if it's legal. And stay hydrated. Catch you all next time.
Things are just vaguely adult.